Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my first real part of my City Skylines series, Ardes. So this is at least what I call it for now. You can still tell me your name ideas for this, like, City Skyline series thingy that I'm having there. And yes, although if you want to give me something like a name or an inspiration for a name, I would appreciate if you would be something French, because I will theme this whole thing like French. So like a French small villages and a French area, and yes, probably you can see there that I already have a grid. That's due to the fact that I did something, also recorded it, but this video would be way longer because I was working quite a lot on this grid and later on changed it completely because I had some problems to get this like typical look for an European city, because just like you don't have a grid, just like a normal grid like you have an American city, you're having a lot of different curves, and not only curves, you also have a lot of like not straight grids, you also have this like wanky weird stuffed grids that aren't straight, that are just like not diagonal to everything else, not diagonal, not just like straight to everyone else. And yes, and I have to apologize on another thing, that just like this video comes right now on I think Thursday or Friday. That's due to the fact that I had quite a lot of tests, so I also have a test tomorrow, and I had one today and another one last week. Not last week, I'm before 2 weeks, and this was quite a lot of stress for me, so I couldn't produce nearly everything. Although right now I still have about, let me have a look, 2.5 hours full of things that I can use for my videos, so this shouldn't be too less, and I should be able to do quite a lot of videos with this one. At least it should be enough for 1 or 2 another videos. And yes, maybe you've seen this like LED and cinematics and you're just like right now, wait, this is a completely different one. And yes, you're right. The problem that I got with this one is that it was way too bright, so I later on changed it to something very dark, and this will happen in something like in between episode 2 and 3, I think. And this is actually due to the fact that I don't like this very bright one. I like darker ones quite a lot more, and I also got a bit of help from some people from Discord of Strict Toaster, so thanks to you, Christopher, if you're watching this. I appreciated your help quite a lot, and yes. So what you can see me there is trying to fit in this main street, not this main street, sorry, this national road. I'm sorry, I can't speak right now, it's pretty late as always, and I'm kinda tired because of a 2-hour test today, but this should be okay. So this national road I try to adjust because I don't like this cleanish look, so I have to do something there, and I think I also did something in the end. Yes, I definitely did, and it's also getting heavily detailed, this whole area, because we will have then there a small farm after episode 3, I think, with a small field in this small gap there, and this will be a quite important like spot for this whole city, because this small city slash village is all based on wine and farming, so this means the city will have a lot of this in the near distance to it, because just like you don't have that many choices when you're living in an area like this, because you don't have a big city with a lot of jobs or offices, so you have to live with what you have. And yes, there you actually saw I left in some of my work for this LUT, because I worked about quite a lot of time, and yes, it was too much like work to cut it out. So for this video, what we are doing is on minute 6 I'm building my first backyard with some wine stuff in there. On minute 23 I'm starting my second backyard. On minute 33 I'm building my third backyard again with wine. Also in the end we are starting to building our little mansion, but we will continue this in the next episode. And the reason for this one is this episode would be way too long, because we have so much recording recorded stuff already, and I just like need to get everything in place and render everything. And yes, actually I wanted to pre-produce some videos because I won't be able to record this many things in December, so there will be some videos definitely pre-recorded and pre-produced. So this will be about 3 minutes, and I also will write it down in the description so that you guys can see, just like when I'm reading your comments, when in what episode I think I can just like build what you want me to build. So here, back to the build. At first I wanted to make it with this parking lot roads, but it didn't fit in any way, so I thought about a way that I could also take the very easy thing there with these roads there and then just place some concrete there, and it should look okay. It actually does look okay, and it is just like right now very clean and not dirty, so I will have to change this later on, but for now it should be enough because I just want to go on with building this city and later on just like fixing some little things like this one, because I want to just like get some video content that isn't just placing decals. And yes, so right now what you're watching there is me struggling a bit. I think I will leave it in, and if not, we may not be confused, but to choose what fence I should take, because for the fences I want to not have something too high and not something too low, because you want a bit of privacy, but it is just a parking lot. So I thought maybe it would be realistic to have it open, so you would always see your small vineyards, I think they're called, in your backyard. So yes, and as you can see there, I've used the second version of Theme Mixer, so Theme Mixer 2, because it is awesome. I love it. You can do so many great things with it, and it is just like helping you in so many ways. I just love it. So yes, I will continue having my problems with fences because I don't want something too bright, too dark. I want something perfect, and I also found later on you will find this fence everywhere in this small city village. Also, this series should be based on more small details than my previous one, Springfield, because we will have a lot of details just on the national road. So we will have this like guard rails and guard barriers just like that you can't break through it, and we will have a lot of custom signs that are just like showing it to this village. And I'm actually considering to name this village Ardes, although I want to build more and different villages. But I think it would be pretty cool to have something like a small, very old village in the middle of the whole map, and to build a history and story about this. So this would be actually something that I would appreciate to do, and I will have to see how I can do it. Also, this is one of my first like series where I try to get things in very realistic, so just like to don't block too many windows, and if I block some, that I hide them completely and not just like in some weird things, like just on some parts of the window, and the half of the window is clear, because I'm sorry, this was my chair, and I'm kind of afraid that it will break me. Hopefully not. So just like when I block it, that I block it completely, because it wouldn't be realistic that you have a big window and then there is in the halfway there a wall that is just like dirty and black, and you're just like looking at this very depressive wall. This wouldn't be very cool or enjoying in any way. So back to the video. I think we're right now at that minute mark, and yes, so what I will be doing now is just like searching for some decals that I could place down and not to overload it, but this was hard because I forgot to download some decals. I will have to add them later on, and yes. I have so many great decals for this series, so I will do a lot of mansions and monasteries and things like this, because I love some things like this, and like this very old look is also very great for me, because I had a very modern series and now I want a very old series, at least for buildings, because as you can see there, we're having very modern vehicles, but it's just like we're in our time, but we're in an older village. center or city, so you get this vibe of an old city and this old feel when you're staying at a building and you're asking yourself, wow, how old is this? This is pretty sure older than I or my parents are, or or most of my family are. So just like this thing of an history between like history about a building. And yes, also just like this look of some very well kept buildings and then some with some vines around them and things like this. So this should also add a great kind of great and quite a lot of big and great details. I'm right now waving with my hands like a crazy person, so be glad that you don't have to see this. So actually, if you've watched this video until now, I would appreciate you to consider giving this video a like. It helps me a lot, and to do a video, it is quite a lot of work, and I'm trying my best to get it to a good quality, and already trying to get better, like to 4K. For this, I will need a new screen. I will get this in some months, I guess, because right now I don't have too much money left to school and going out with friends and just like to party a bit. And yes, so thank you if you're watching this part. I will just continue talking a bit, and I just wanted to say to you that I would also appreciate if you consider subscribing to me. It helps me a lot and it encourages me to do more stuff for YouTube, and just like to spend my free time with this one, because this is my big hobby and it's just like a very secret thing. Actually, nearly my whole class knows that I'm doing YouTube, but it's just like my backup if I'm just too confused or too just like, oh no, my blood sugar is very low right now. That's also why I'm stumbling about words. Just like it is my backup space, so my space where I go when I don't know what I should do with people in real life, and just like when I don't know what I should just like do with my life sometimes. So this is something like a backup for myself, and just a place where I go when I want to relax and have some fun. So thanks to all of you guys to give me the possibility to do it. I love it, and I'm very happy about every support that I get. So as you can see there, the ground is getting very dirty when you play something, and I will have to change this. I also changed this in part 3. I'm mentioning a lot this part 3, although I haven't just like edited it in any way, so this will be very interesting. So yes, I hope I will edit it that you can see what I mean with this one, but maybe we'll also cut it out. So I don't know right now. So although, thank you for watching, and I will right now leave you for some minutes trying to get my blood sugar right, and we'll see each other back in some minutes. So until then, enjoy the video. Bye. So I'm back. We're already building another backyard again, and I just like right now heard my voice recording and I did this weird sound, just like, yes, I'm sorry. This was due to my blood sugar and I think it should be better right now. I'm about 2 minutes after my last recording, so this should be okay. And when we are back with more backyards, yes! Yeah, this episode is basically just like a backyard episode. Well, maybe also call this a backyard episode. This would be a good name. Would have to write this down. Give me a minute. So, yes, backyard episode. So, what I'm right now doing is just like another parking for vehicles, because I just thought maybe there would be something like some barrels standing also there, because a lot of wine needs to be stored somewhere and this isn't very safe due to the weather, but I thought this would be for getting it transferred to another city or a harbor we will build later on. And yes, so I think right now I'm pretty damped due to the fact that I don't know what I should talk, but I will talk a bit more and then I will leave you alone again. But as already said, I think it was quite okay to have an episode of just building backyards, because we'll change it later on and we'll go ahead with more interesting things like farms, power plants, industrial areas and things like this. So I think part 4 or 5 will be a power plant, a small one. It would just like serve this one small city, but I think this should be okay and it should be quite realistic, because some cities also have their own ones still, although they're very rusty and dirty and not very well maintained, but they still work, so they are used. So yes, here I'm just placing some cargo and stuff like this, and I just right now will say thank you for watching. Hopefully see another video of mine and have a great day. Bye!